Welcome to Cash in the Cyber Sheets. I'm your host, James Bowers, and together we'll work with business leaders and industry experts to dive into the misunderstood business of cybersecurity and compliance to learn how to start making money from being secure and compliant. Welcome to Cash in the Cyber Sheets. Hey everybody, welcome back to Cash in the Cyber Sheets. I'm your host, James Bowers, Chief Security and Compliance Architect here at Input Output. Very happy to have you back here with us today. And today I want to get into a couple of issues that we're seeing with quite a few clients that we're helping to manage all of their SPF, DKIM, and DMARC records, and why it's so important to have the monitoring to make sure that you have this set up correctly. I'm going to say that this is probably going to be a pretty short episode because I don't know what it is that hit me, but I was able to rally here for a little bit to be able to do the recording, but not sure how long I can sit upright. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. Before we before we move on, click that like and subscribe. Go ahead and show us some love. Leave us some comments, and definitely anything. We're doing a lot here around the email management, SPF, DKIM, DMARC, BME, MTA, STS, TLS, RPT. If you don't know what all of those are, that's perfectly okay. We've got a lot on our website about it and a lot more coming out. But go ahead and leave us some comments. More than happy to dive into it and help make sure that you've got your email set up correctly. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, we've talked a few times. We've got our IO DMARC solution, which helps manage, basically just makes it easy to manage your SPF, DKIM, DMARC, and all of your other email records. You can definitely do this on your own. The platform makes it a lot easier because it helps prevent a lot of typos, so fat finger mistakes, which I definitely make. And also the biggest thing is the monitoring. Now, a lot of people, even when they set up their records correctly, they're not really doing any monitoring. Even if they set up where to send their DMARC reports to, they're not typically looking at those. If you've ever looked at a standard DMARC report, it's a pretty long XML file. It's a lot of kind of gibberish, just not really well put together for human reading. And that's really where the platform comes in, that it aggregates everything so you can quickly see, really, is it green, good, or red, bad? And wherever you see any red, what's going on there? And this is where we get into today's episode. What a lot of companies are finding is normally in the first 30 to 60 days, which is really when I say how long it takes to really get your records set up correctly, is they'll set up all the records correctly. They'll even remember a lot of the sending sources, but what they haven't realized is that some of their sending sources are using multiple DKIM selectors. It's not just one DKIM key. So they have 30% or 50% or sometimes more if there's a lot of selectors that they haven't set up. They notice a lot of DKIM failures because they've only set up one DKIM key. And this isn't a stab at anybody that's setting this up at any MSP. It's not always very clear exactly how many selectors a platform might use, and you don't actually see it until you start getting the DMARC failure reports. And in those reports, you can see it passed SPF, but it failed DKIM, and it failed using this selector. And what's nice with that, with the report, is you can quickly go down your manage DKIM to see, okay, do we have that selector set up? If not, now you know exactly what you need to fix. So the monitoring makes it much easier to identify issues. It actually is really the only way to identify issues unless you're manually looking through those DMARC records, which honestly, I don't even know if anybody could. There would really be no way to read through hundreds and hundreds of XML DMARC records to see, is there an issue? You really want something that's going to filter them and be able to show you, here's where you need to look, here's what you need to address. And that's really what the tool does. The second big thing that we've really started seeing is subdomain issues. Now, traditionally, subdomains are covered under the umbrella of your primary domain. So whatever SPF you have, your DMARC, even your DKIM selectors typically will all manage all of your subdomains as well. However, what a lot of platforms are starting to do now is they're starting to require an explicit subdomain record. So they're pointing directly to the subdomain, and they want to see a specific SPF record for the subdomain for each of your subdomains. So in our example, if we've got inputoutput.com, we should have an SPF record, only one for inputoutput.com. But if we're sending email through mail.inputoutput.com, then we should also have a SPF record for mail.inputoutput.com. And that sometimes causes confusion that people say, well, we're only supposed to have one SPF record. Well, you're only supposed to have one for each sending domain, each fully qualified domain. So if you have mail.inputoutput.com, marketing.inputoutput.com, and all of those are sending mail, you should have explicit records for each of those. And that's becoming more and more important because of all of the issues, of all of the requirements with DMARC, with DKIM, with everything else, more and more providers are looking for that explicit subdomain record. And if you don't, here's another plug for the monitoring, if you don't have any type of monitoring, these things can completely fly under the radar. And where you'll notice a lot of your other emails being delivered, some of your marketing emails, a lot of your marketing emails might not be getting delivered at all. And with the changes in May with Microsoft, Google, and Yahoo, it could be up to 60% of the emails. So if you're doing a big marketing campaign, that can be a pretty big impact. That can be direct money just flying right out the back end of the company with absolutely zero ROI. So we'll have a link in the description for the IO DMARC, which makes it very easy to set up all of your email records, very easy to monitor all of those. And what's great too is we even connect to help you get it set up correctly, because if you've never done it before, or honestly, if you've done it a lot, it can still be pretty confusing, and we're more than happy to help. So that is all I have for today. Just touching on it again, make sure to check that you have all of your DKIM selectors set up correctly. There can be multiple ones for each sender, and that you're actually creating explicit subdomain records for each of the subdomains that are sending email. And that's going to help keep your email delivering and help keep it going to the inbox. Everybody, thank you very much for listening today, and until next time. Thanks for joining us today. Don't forget, click that subscribe button, leave us a review, and share it with your network. Remember, security and compliance aren't just about avoiding risk. They're about unlocking your business's full potential. So stay secure, stay compliant, and we'll catch you next week on Cash in the Cyber Sheets. Goodbye for now.
Life goes up and it goes down. Life goes up